What's up, everybody? We're here live at PAX East. I'm talking right now to Greg Kasavin from Supergiant Games. Greg, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. I just had a chance to play Transistor. First off, it's an awesome game. I'm really impressed by it. Now, can you give me just a brief overview of what Transistor's story is about?
Yeah, very briefly, you play as this character called Red, who happens upon this kind of extraordinary and unusual weapon called the Transistor through mysterious circumstances, and no sooner does that happen than these strange forces appear and are kind of desperately trying to get it back from her. So she's on the run through the city trying to get some answers, and you could tell right away that there's this character who's speaking to her. It appears to be the Transistor itself, so she's traveling along with this voice coming from this sword-like thing.
Okay, great. So I want to talk about combat a little bit, because it looks like there's an action element to it, but there's also sort of a turn-based element to it. Is that correct? No, can you explain a little bit about the systems for us?
Yeah, we really wanted to kind of explore the action RPG genre in a new direction and see if we could take some of the pleasures of turn-based strategy games and tactical RPGs and sort of meld them together. And so we came up with a system where it's this very powerful ability that you have where you can stop the whole world and plan out your next set of actions and then execute them in kind of a supercharged fashion. You can do this at almost every time. What we found with that is that people play this game in really different ways, which got us really excited because that's what we wanted. We wanted people to play it in kind of an expressive way, so whether they want to play it in a very action-like fashion or whether they wanted to be kind of very deliberate and think things through, we wanted to support that whole range of play styles. So we wanted it to just, above all, kind of be thoughtful, but also to have a lot of the drama of turn-based strategy games, where even though turn-based strategy games don't necessarily always look dramatic, they can feel very dramatic, where you have those moments of suspense of you hit go and you want to see how your turn unfolds, and sometimes it goes exactly as you wanted and you're really excited. Other times it goes spectacularly wrong and you have to deal with it, and we like those kind of surprises happening constantly throughout gameplay.
And there's a lot of upgrades that go into it as well, I saw.
Yeah, one of the big things actually that we're showing for the first time is giving you some sense of how you can configure the Transistor. So you gain access to these different functions that you can put into the Transistor in different combinations, resulting in there are many thousands of different combinations possible as you unlock more and more of these functions. So that along with this other system, we think creates a whole bunch of different play styles for people to just kind of discover. And since the mystery around this weapon is such a big part of the story and the whole game, that we really wanted people to be constantly kind of discovering what else this thing can do.
Great. So between this and Bastion, these games are both in an isometric kind of top-down-ish perspective. Why do you guys like to make that design choice? Is there a certain...
Yeah, that's an interesting, we really like the isometric perspective. We sometimes wonder why we like it so much, and part of it is we actually, several of us come from making real-time strategy games in the Command and Conquer series, so I think that's one of the random little things that we've held over. We just like that kind of bird's eye view of things, the combination of kind of, you have a tactical view, but it's also relatively intimate, it's close enough. But it wasn't, nothing about Transistor was a foregone conclusion, so I think we kind of surprised ourselves a little bit when we came back around to this perspective. We explored a lot of different possibilities and found that as we were leaning in this strategic direction, we're you know what, actually this works really well. We tried this other stuff, it didn't work as well, so that's why we ended up there once more.
Okay, great. So the game's coming out pretty soon. I saw May 20th?
That's right.
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys are kind of in crunch time right now then.
A fair assumption.
So I got one question for you. Yeah. You're in crunch time. What food are you going to go for? What do you use to kind of tide you over, sustain you?
Whatever I can microwave in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah, whatever my wife has left over for me when I get home. Yeah, we'll take what we can get. No, I mean, we try to, yeah, I could talk a lot about crunch food, having eaten some of it before. We try to stay healthy and kind of keep a good balance through this. It can be rigorous for sure, but it's really important to not work yourself so much that you're just making terrible mistakes and whatever. So we try not to just eat nothing but pizza or whatever, but we like pizza from time to time as well.
Awesome. Well, Greg, Greg, thank you very much for talking to us today. Guys, make sure you check out Transistor. I am a believer. It's a great game.
Thank you.
Thank you.